Hi class, this is Social Service 215, Social Problems and Social Actions, Chapter 12, titled Drugs. Drugs in Society, drugs, any substance causing psychophysiological changes when ingested. All drugs alter the way an individual experiences the world. People use drugs to induce transient states, altered moods, and enhance social interactions. Drug encounters are inherently social phenomena. All societies have normal patterns of drug usage, so it exists in all societies' drug usage. There was a war on drugs which heightened the focus on policing drugs and drugs use in the 1970s, and we are seeing some of the effects still of this movement or initiative today with the mass incarceration and behaviors of African American and Latino American and people of black and brown skin tones being arrested for drug crimes. Differences amongst drug use and drug use disorder, right? So there's a hierarchy, if you want to call it. You first use the drug, you have to use it once. And then there's, after continued use, there's drugs misuse, using the drug for what it's not intended for. This can be with prescribed drugs or non-prescribed drugs. And then there develops an addiction or physical tolerance that's needed in order to maintain. And then there's substance use disorder, when you suffer from substance usage. So it's part of the addiction. Addiction and associated harm. So there is misuse of prescription drugs, which you still can become extremely addicted to and can be very harmful. Physiological dependence leads to physical withdrawal symptoms. So that's basically the difference between use and addiction or dependency, is that there are withdrawal symptoms, physical withdrawal symptoms by the individual when they don't have the substance in their body. And then tolerance is the accumulation to drugs that builds over time. You may hear that people are always chasing their first high, so they have to use more drugs to get there. So that's where tolerance develops. And this is figure 12.1, people age 12 and older with the past year substance use disorder in 2018. And addiction and associated harm. So recovery is difficult and complicated, of course, because the drug has affected the person psychologically, biologically, and then also probably affected social relationships at one point. And then some people choose a natural recovery, and there's also individual and society health impacts associated with recovery. And then the syringe service programs that you want to definitely read about those as well. So patterns of drug use across social groups. So you have the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, maturing out. Differences in drug use can be based off gender, race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. Social differences influence access to drugs and set expectations about use. So figure 12.3 is illegal drug use in the United States by age 2018, so please review. 12.4 is illegal drug use among U.S. residents 18 to 25 years of age by gender. Figure 12.5, the prevalence of illegal drug use among U.S. Individuals 18 to 25 years old by race and gender. Figure 12.6 is illegal drug use and substance use disorders by sexual orientation among U.S. adults age 18 and older, right? So past year you see, and then you see substance use disorder as well. So using theory to understand drug use, the functionalism, let's say use of drugs considered an act of deviance and rejection of social norms. Socially sanctioned drugs contribute to community cohesion, not disruption. That's what functionalism would say. Conflict theory, legality, and access to certain drugs are products of the social structure. Laws governing drugs provide means of exerting social control and policing over those less powerful. Symbolic interactions, attitudes, values, and norms subject to change over time related to drug usage. Importance of social context and groups with whom we associate with. And then we have the specialized theories on drug use, right? So you have general strain theory. Individuals may feel strain as a result of experiences in society. Strain may lead to deviant behavior. Drug use widely documented as a coping mechanism to some type of behavior or strain, according to this theory, so please review. Social disorganization theory, social environment is a key influence on behavior, meaning as the environment changes, so does the person. So macro level factors can be deindustrialization, wage polarization, meaning the gap between the rich and the poor, or wage earning people as well. Outsourcing, racial segregation, poor housing, and discrimination. And social learning theory, right? So related to symbolic interaction is tradition and primarily social with theorist Ronald L. Ackers. And it says individuals are individuals are conditioned by their social environment to behave in particular ways and models behavior of those around them. So this is saying that social learning, so people in an environment show that drug use is normal and this is the norm patterns of the society there or people in that environment, then drug use will be seen as normal. We see a lot of this with media, and hip hop and rap and R&B as well, right? With the drinking of alcohol, smoking of weed or marijuana, and the use of these potent chemicals.